Before visiting New Orleans, we thought we knew what to expect. But what surprised us most was how every neighborhood seemed to have its own personality. From live jazz and historic landmarks to beautiful parks, incredible history, and some unexpected discoveries along the way, today we're taking you to 8 places we think you shouldn't miss when visiting New Orleans. When people think of New Orleans, this is the place they probably picture. Located in the heart of the French Quarter, Bourbon Street is where people come to let loose, have fun, and experience some of the city's famous nightlife.
It's 6 o'clock on a Saturday night, and during the off-season.
While Bourbon Street is known for the bars and the nightlife, it's places like Musical Legends Park that remind you music is really at the heart of New Orleans.
Okay, I think we found the oldest bar in New Orleans. It's right here.
One of the most famous stops on Bourbon Street is Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop Bar. Built between 1722 and 1732, it's believed to be one of the oldest surviving structures in New Orleans. According to local legend, the building was once used by the notorious pirate and smuggler Jean Lafitte as a front for his smuggling operation. Whether the stories are completely true or not, they've helped make this one of the most legendary bars in New Orleans.
Pat O'Brien's is another one you should hit up when you're here.
No visit to Bourbon Street would be complete without stopping by Pat O'Brien's, famous for creating the Hurricane Cocktail and its iconic flaming fountain.
Thank you. All right. Bottoms up. Cheers. All right, so we stopped at Pat O'Brien's. It's supposed to be the place to be, and it's pretty hopping.
Whether you're here for the music, the drinks, or the atmosphere, there's no shortage of things to do on Bourbon Street. Welcome to the heart of New Orleans, Jackson Square. For more than 300 years, this has been a gathering place for locals and visitors alike, surrounded by artists, musicians, and some of the city's most iconic landmarks. Andrew Jackson became a hero in New Orleans after leading American forces to victory during the Battle of New Orleans in 1815. The city later renamed the square in his honor. Towering over Jackson Square, St. Louis Cathedral can't be missed. It's one of the most recognizable landmarks in New Orleans and the oldest continuously active Catholic cathedral in the United States. One of my favorite things to do in Jackson Square is simply stop and listen to the music. Just across from Jackson Square sits one of the reasons New Orleans exists in the first place, the Mississippi River. Today, the Riverwalk is a great place to take a stroll and enjoy a completely different side of the city. In the distance, the lights of the Crescent City Connection stretch across the Mississippi. One of the most iconic sights along the waterfront is the Steamboat Natchez, a reminder of the river's role in shaping New Orleans. On our way to check out the local jazz scene, we somehow ended up following a parade through the streets. That's the kind of magic you can only find in New Orleans. The parade led us to exactly where we wanted to be, Frenchmen Street. Located in the historic Faubourg Marigny neighborhood, it's where many visitors and locals come to experience New Orleans' famous live music scene. So naturally, we had to stop at the Spotted Cat. There is typically a 1 drink minimum per set, and bring extra cash or Venmo to tip the musicians. It's raining a little bit. That's not gonna stop us here in NOLA. So we are heading over to the World War II Museum. Yay, let's go. It's supposed to be the best in the United States, probably best in the world. So yeah, let's go. This is one place we kept hearing about before visiting New Orleans, the National World War II Museum. Okay, let the tour begin. They have 7 buildings. This place is massive. So you could definitely spend like a whole day here.
I ask that the Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, a state of war.
The National World War II Museum is consistently ranked among the best museums in the country, and it's one of New Orleans' most visited attractions. While there are plenty of immersive aircraft and military artifacts, the museum really focuses on the stories of the people who lived through the war. Even if you're not a huge history person, the museum does an incredible job of bringing history to life. This is definitely one of the best museums I've ever visited. Incredible. The amount of history, research, stories that they share. Amazing.
And the brief ceremony began.
It is my earnest hope, and indeed the hope of all mankind, that from this solemn occasion a better world shall emerge out of the blood and carnage of the past.
Joy is unconfined.
Okay, so we just arrived in the Garden District. It's something that you definitely have to come and see when visiting New Orleans. Wow. So there are like tours that you can take, but you can also just take a self-guided tour. I'll put the link in our description so you can use the one that we're using, but it's just a kind of like a rectangle path. So we'll keep moving. But these houses were built in the 1800s, and they come from sugar and cotton money, and they were built by the Americans. So it's definitely a different look. When you're down in the French Quarter, it's French and Spanish style. This is definitely the American side of New Orleans. So let's go check them out. Has corn on the top. Look. One of the most unique homes in the Garden District is Colonel Short's Villa. It's best known for its famous cast iron fence, decorated with corn stalks and corn cobs, making it one of the neighborhood's most recognizable landmarks. That is gorgeous. One of my favorite parts of New Orleans are these, I think they're gas-lit lanterns, and they're all over the city. Absolutely stunning. I wish we had this in all American cities. Ah, just gorgeous. Okay, this is Lafayette Cemetery 1. They changed things. You can't just go and like walk around anymore. You have to go with a guided tour. That's new. We've already done it, and it is actually temporarily closed today, so we can't even get a tour if we wanted to, but I'll show it to you over here. It is really nice to take a tour of it. We enjoyed the tour that we took.
So right across from this is the Commander's Palace restaurant. It's one of the most iconic restaurants here in New Orleans. Tons of history.
It revolutionized Creole cooking and invented New Orleans' iconic jazz brunch.
If you want to eat there, you probably do need a reservation, so check out their website. Meow. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. Pretty. This one here is John Goodman's house. Okay, it doesn't have a number, so we figured out this is Anne Rice's home. There it is. So pretty. So pretty. So that's Jefferson Davis's house. It's a really pretty purple house. But this is so much fun. If you have time, definitely come walk around the Garden District. It's so pretty. The houses are beautiful. And it just feels like you're stepping back in time. I love it so much.
We wanted to take some time to unwind at City Park. One thing that surprised us is that it's actually about 50% larger than New York's Central Park. But what really makes the park special are the massive live oak trees, some of which are believed to be hundreds of years old. Beyond the beautiful scenery, visitors can explore the New Orleans Museum of Art, botanical gardens, lakes, walking trails, and even carousel gardens.
Eight years ago when we were here, we took a bike tour, and the tour guide took us here to Cafe Du Monde in the park to have beignets, and it was so much fun.
After the music, the crowds, and everything else we'd experienced in New Orleans, this felt like the perfect place to slow down for a little while.
So absolutely, City Park is beautiful. If you want to get away from the hustle and bustle of downtown New Orleans, come out to City Park. Totally worth it. Look at these trees. Okay, we just came down to the French Market.
Before wrapping up our time here in New Orleans, we made one final stop at the French Market. Dating back more than 200 years, it's one of the oldest public markets in the United States. Today, it's a great place to shop for souvenirs, browse local artwork, and pick up a few New Orleans-inspired treasures before heading home. But if you're anything like me, you're probably here for the food.
We found what I was looking for.
Yay! One thing I was determined to find was a beignet from Loretta's authentic pralines.
Okay, I have been waiting for this since we got here.
And that's just the beginning. If you're interested in the best food that New Orleans has to offer, check out my other two videos. What makes New Orleans special isn't any one attraction. It's the feeling you get when you're here. It's the music spilling into the streets, the history around every corner, the food that keeps you thinking about your next meal, and the people who make the city feel alive. New Orleans is truly one of a kind.
So that concludes our video here this week. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know I did. If you haven't already, I invite you to hit that subscribe button because we have more fun, more food, more travel coming your way. We'll see you on the next video.